Hi, my name's Jason Jadon. I'm a supporter of Fulham Football Club. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, but my second home is the Cottage, and you're listening to DU Football Show.
They actually had a West London derby this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They played QPR?
Yep. Took them the whole weekend. Took them the whole extra time to get through it, but they finally won.
Good.
So good. We've now covered that game and don't have to cover one less of the 32. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the Drunkard United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the third round of the FA Cup.
That's right.
It's told by two common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Houston, and across the way is the great philosopher, Samuel Graham.
Oh, that title is fully reserved for you, my friend. You know why? Because truth is reality.
It most certainly is. We're recording at Studio H, just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. And should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Sammy, tell the good people how they can get
Absolutely.
in touch.
If you would like to talk with either myself or Sam Curtiz over there, you can do so at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com.
Yes, we would love to get some emails. It's been a little while. We got our whiskey one from Brandon, I want to say it was, and I'd love to hear back from you, see what you thought of the whiskeys you tried, and ask for more recommendations. We'd be more than glad to give them to you. And like Keith, we haven't heard from you for a while. I mean, I know Newcastle is basically like the flat line of football right now, but you can still reach out and talk to us. We'd love to hear it. And a couple of quick shout outs. One shout out, and there'll be some more shout outs later. This past week, I got to do the Whole Lot of Wolves podcast with our boy Paul. Their stateside views on the Wolves, and I helped preview the upcoming Everton game, where I referred to Bruno Fernandes playing for Manchester City and knocked Richie into his fellow teammate and defender Joel Matip. Problem, United and Liverpool is who Matip plays for. Yep. So I was hot fire.
Bruno plays for United, not City.
Yeah.
And then
and it was United who we were playing, not City.
Correct. And then Matip definitely plays for Liverpool, and I believe is injured.
You know what the problem was, Sam? I did that interview during the middle of the day, and I did it sober. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every show. We're revisiting a whiskey that we've had, not on this show, but Sam and I are very familiar with. Yes. That seemed to have gotten its act together, I'd say.
Absolutely. It used to be almost undrinkable, to be honest with you. It was so big. But this is the Compass Box Peat Monster. This comes in at 92 proof. And will run you between $64.99 and $69.99 on the shelf. It was recently given a new recipe designed to create greater depth and elegance, and I would say it actually worked.
Oh, yeah.
This also, I apologize, comes in at number 9 on 2020 Whiskey Advocate Top 20. On the nose, it's gentle and fragrant, wafting over candied citrus, lemon-frosted cake, and raspberry, along with classic peated undertones of charcoal and iodine. The palate is creamy in texture with pleasant notes of brine, seashells, and ashiness, and a floral peat influence that swirls gently around rich vanilla, tropical hints of lime, and smoked meats. Oh, and generous spice. The finish offers bitter chocolate, lemon hard candy, and a bang of spice and smoke.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's not in it?
I don't know. You got to talk to the copywriters at Whiskey Advocate.
Yeah. Got a little excited with that one, didn't I?
They probably drank half the bottle before they wrote it.
And now Graham's doing this thing with the magazine in his hand, and he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, doesn't know where to fucking put it.
I don't know where to put the thing.
So the master distiller and blender over at Compass Box is a guy by the name of John Glazer. And John cut his teeth with the Johnny Walker family, and he was one of the primary blenders on the Blue recipe.
Oh, okay.
So just great roots in making whiskey. And this was kind of the starting, it's now called blended single malt, but this was what was the vatted malt category for a while.
Yep.
It was one other name that they called it as well. I can't remember. But essentially what this is a blend of whiskeys, but it's only single malt whiskeys. So there's no neutral grain whiskey cut in,
right,
like in the case of most blends.
Correct.
And he does they're basically representations and styles of the whiskeys all around. He also does one that is just a 100% wheat whiskey to represent the blend whiskey that goes into a blended whiskey, right?
Yep.
Like he did lots of fun stuff. He did a fun little thing called Orgenaire, which was orange and cardamom and cinnamon, kind of like a really done up Drambuie.
Okay.
Kind of almost like if Drambuie and Grand Marnier had a baby. That's kind of the idea. But the biggest problem I used to have with this whiskey in particular, Compass Box, is it was one note. It was peat, and it was peat where they dug the peat brick freshly out of the ground. They walked up to you and they smacked you directly across the face with it. And that's all it was. It was all it smelt like. It was all that it tasted like. It was...
It almost numbed your tongue.
Right.
Before.
And the problem in that is much like with beer where you have your hop heads that are like, 90-minute IPAs, and they love that big earwax. And it's like, well, fucking IPA should have nuance. Well, fucking Isla whiskey should have nuance, right?
Yep.
A big peated whiskey. By the way, your phone's not on.
We can hear that.
Yeah, we could hear that.
It was on mute.
Okay. Well, you know what else should be on mute? You.
I'm going to edit this.
No. You muted me, and you muted me, and you fucking muted me.
This is brilliant.
You want to see full-blown tyrant and the vein cup? You keep pulling that shit. So, anywho, the whiskey is exceptional. This is not for the faint of heart, though. Still, you need to be a peat. It's called Peat Monster, for fuck's sake.
Right.
Like, you need to be a peat drinker.
It's just not as monstrous as before. It's toned down a bit, which is nice, and you get some of that nuance. Melissa, I just realized I missed a huge opportunity a few minutes ago.
For what?
I went with Samcrates, obviously Socrates.
Yes, I liked it. That was clever.
But I should have went with Slutto. Pluto,
Yeah.
Sluto, what? Substitute the S for the P and you get Slutto. And that would have, I think that's a much more fitting philosopher. I almost said the wrong word. That is a much more fitting philosopher name for you, I think. Slutto.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be Slato?
No, that Plato. Oh, Plato, not Pluto in it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I watched something with Tegan earlier.
You want me to
I had
edit
Pluto.
this out too?
Nah, fuck it. I had Pluto on the brain earlier.
I'm like Mickey's best friend. I'm trying to. I mean, yes, Pluto did have some very interesting takes, but I don't remember a whole lot of speeches.
I guarantee you one of them would have been truth is reality. And the truth in reality is to drink responsibly, please.
How about that? Words aren't that hard, are they?
Just getting there. Getting there was hard.
Well, we already had a couple, so.
We love this fucking competition, dude. We love the FA Cup.
This is why it's the greatest
and
weekend.
why do we love the FA Cup? Because Chorley FC 2, Derby County 0.
Derby County's kids.
Yeah,
No.
it was their kid. Doesn't matter. What does the patch say?
Derby fucking County.
Fucking hell. That's a 2-0 win, my friend. That is a 2-0 win. So
It's beautiful.
Non-league
It's absolutely
side,
beautiful.
Non-league side, Chorley get to sing Adele again, Sammy.
And they did. Did you see the video floating around?
Uh-huh.
And them turning this kind of slow part of the song into a chant, and they're like breaking shit up. It's fucking awesome. I love it.
The video went over so well that one Miss Adele herself liked and responded.
And Adele is apparently known for never liking tweets.
Never liking tweets.
Ever. This is the first one.
Yep. Pretty
Absolutely
fucking cool.
fantastic for the boys from Chorley.
That's where you read notes that you asked me to write for you there, Sam Graham. How about that?
So Chorley scored in the opening 10 minutes.
Keep slinging them insults there, Killer. Good work.
They did stay competitive throughout the match and then put it to bed in the 84th, obviously. They become the 10th non-league side, just the 10th non-league side in the history of the FA Cup that advanced to the 4th round, period.
Yep. Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is why this is my favorite weekend of the season, is you get the David versus Goliath. And a lot of times, especially when it's on their patch, David wins.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and speaking of their patch, here's what the story was. Here's the story. Imagine, if you will, a completely frozen pitch covered in snow.
Yeah.
Just about 9 days out from your match.
Mm-hmm.
And then it snows again. And then you're trying to take care of everything, get it all done. And you have to do an all-nighter to make sure you get the field ready just in time. You know, that's okay. All you got to do is get the whole grounds. Wait, it's one fucking guy, Sam.
Yep.
It's one fucking guy. And you know who we have on the phone right now? We are excited as hell to have Ben Kay, the head/only groundsman at the mighty Chorley FC, who just beat Derby County in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Ben, how the hell are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I've had a very, very busy day, to be honest with you. But yeah, glad to be on with you guys.
Excellent. So first off, thank you for taking the time to chat. And is everybody at the club still kind of buzzing over the big win on Saturday?
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's just to get to the 4th round. You know what I mean? We had a 50-50 chance of drawing a Premier League club, and obviously we've done it twice. I mean, as you know, we've got Wolverhampton in the 4th round, or potentially Southampton or the Arsenal in the 5th round. So I don't think it could have gone much better, really. I mean, if we'd have got Man United or Liverpool, but again, it seems like them two seem to draw themselves out together every flaming year. So a bit disappointed on that note and that. But like I said to you before, like Wolverhampton, top 10 English Premier League side, we can't grumble with that one, especially at home.
Excellent. Now, tell us a little bit about the night. Or actually, right, Sam, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Tell us about the night. Tell us what happened.
I jumped all over Sam Graham's question.
It's okay. No problem.
I'm an asshole. Go ahead, Sammy.
What I was going to ask you is take us through the days leading up to the match. What were the conditions like that led to your wonderful display of dedication? And what made you go to such lengths? What, just pride in your job or just standing up for the community? What was it that drove you to do that? That's an amazing story.
Well, obviously in England we get the cold weather around this time and that. So I think we'd had the cold weather from, I think it was the 27th of December. We had a storm called Storm Bella come in and it brought a cold snap. So we played AFC Fylde in our Boxing Day game, the game which we won. That night Bella came in, brought snow, brought frost, brought freezing temperatures. So believe it or not, the week we had already had a week of snow and bad weather. So last Saturday, which would have been the 2nd of January, we had another 2 inches of snow fall on top of the pitch. So now we've got a frozen pitch with 3 or 4 inches of snow on top. So what happens is when you get so far in the FA Cup, the FA come to you and say, listen, we'll protect your pitch for you, because it was a televised game. So they subsidise some of the money that it costs. So as you've seen probably pictures of the big tent up, I think that's a £30,000 operation per week. Jesus, so they said, well, listen, if you can, exactly. So for a club like us, we can't afford that. But they came to us and said, listen, for £4,000, we'll guarantee that your game's on, kind of thing, because they can't lose the money, they can't lose the television revenue, etc., and the viewing rights.
Absolutely.
So Saturday before the game, so we've got a week left till the game now. So I spoke to the contractor, said, listen, he lives in Northampton, which is down bottom of the Midlands, kind of on the way to London, so a good 2.5 hour drive. So I spoke to him and said, listen, you better get up here, mate. Like, we're in serious doubt here, because these tents are to protect, not really to thaw, although they can do the job. So he says, yeah, I'll come up. So on the Sunday night, he met me at tea time up onto the ground. So I left the wife. We was having tea at our mother-in-law. So left the wife, went up and met him. floodlights on. He just went, wow, better get this up here straight away. Like, so Monday, the guys come up from Northampton in a big Arctic lorry with all the gear, all the tent. It's believe it or not, it's called a sausage that goes through the middle. It goes through the full length of the pitch, 100 metres, blows up to around 5 metres high. And then what they do is they cover the top of the sausage so it produces a dome, a tent kind of thing and that. So, so we had that up. So then the process was to thaw the pitch, first of all. So as you can imagine, all of that week we was reaching temperatures of -3, -4, with really only highs of 0 and 1. So the sunlight, the air wasn't getting warm enough to help the process, because what it would do was the light would enter the tunnel and heat it naturally also. So what we did was we had to get propane gas to heat the the big heater, what was heating inside. And I think they said that we was using 20 bottles a day, which was around £2,000 a day. So, wow. So what the contract said was that we also needed to fund the gas and the red diesel that obviously ran the generator and the big blower that sent the heating. So you're probably talking a £15,000 operation at the end of it. Wow. But we did get it subsidised by the FA, which I do believe they do it for every live game. So it's not only us, like I think they've been over to Marine, who played Tottenham yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And because Marine's in Liverpool, closer to the sea, doesn't get as cold as what we did.
Right.
So we're probably talking by Wednesday, the snow was all thawed out. The grass is thawed. Probably up until the width, the 18-yard box, up until the touchlines is still quite frozen. So panic starts. I'm speaking to the contractor saying, listen, guys, is there nerve at it? Don't worry. We've seen it all before. It'll thaw. So then Friday comes about. So then we get another 2 inches of snow. So what happens then is, the tent is like this. The snow is falling. So the tent is now gone from that to like that because of the weight of the snow is So we spent 6 hours just brushing water, snow, everything off. So we started at 6 a.m. on Friday morning, just brushed snow off till around tea time, finally stopped snowing, and then all the clouds disappeared. The cold air dropped to -2, and then the frost hit the tent and started to just kind of droop down the sides. So about 8 o'clock, me and a couple of kit guys said, listen, we're going to have to sleep the night here and just see it through. And that, obviously we didn't want to and that, but we just thought, right, needs must. Bearing in mind on Monday that Derby County had a COVID outbreak. So now they're playing their under 18s and under 23s, and there's not going to be a better chance for us to win this game. So
you have to make sure the pitch is good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because if that game gets called off, we then gets postponed and rearranged for the Tuesday. Then all the Derby first team are available. So you're playing a totally different team then.
Yeah.
So you're under pressure from the owner, the chairman, the fans are on. Ben, make sure this game's on. And I'm just thinking, well, I'm the only groundsman, etc. So I'm not God and Jesus. I can't perform miracles. So luckily enough, I had some volunteers who came, who actually the kit lads. So again, we was all in our bubble. We'd all been COVID tested. I mean, we had a full bill of everybody got a negative result. So we was within our bubbles and that. So we stayed overnight. And what happened was around 10 o'clock on Friday night. So again, we've had all this snow all day. 10 o'clock, the generator decided to pack up on us.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the generator that sent all the heat through the tent just to keep it warm. I mean, there's a big myth about these tents being heated and like saunas, but honestly, I'm talking, I can see my own breath, so it's really cold, as you can imagine. So, so that broke down at 10 o'clock. Luckily, one of the contractors was on site. He gave his engineer a quick ring, and believe it or not, he actually lived in Derby. So he's come up from Derby, the team that we're playing. So 2 hour drive back, fixed it in 2 minutes, 2 hour drive back to Derby. But unbelievably, they told us that he was drunk. Yeah, so we've got a drunken engineer on his way up who couldn't drive. So had to ring one of his mates to bring him.
To drive him.
So the driver's drunk. Yeah, so he's got one of his friends to drive his car. Spent 4 hours in a car for a 2-minute job.
That's insane.
And a 2-minute job that's going to help another club beat his club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
rumor has it he was a Nottingham Forest fan, so he was eager
good.
to get the job up and done.
All right, beautiful.
Right. Yeah, so around 10 o'clock, so we was back up and running about 2 a.m., burning the gas. But what the problem was then is, obviously, you've lost all your heat out of the tent. It's a cold night. The tent is draping, it's touching the floor. So as the frost is on the tent, it's freezing the ground into the corners. So what our aim was to stay was, have you seen the free kick mannequins, the big yellow plastic mannequins that you take free kicks around? Yeah. So we decided, right, we'll go and get them and prop them up right into the corners. And we had little space heaters. So we were then just really manning them, monitoring them, because what happened was if there was a big gust of wind, they would knock the mannequin over and the space heater was burning big holes in the tent. So again, it was defying the object of keeping the heat in, because the heat could just easily escape. So really, we just spent all night just literally watching the tent just in case these mannequins blew over.
There you go. Did the engineer happen to bring any booze with him for you lads? Or no?
No,
he was
didn't.
just drunk himself and that was it. Didn't share anything, huh?
Yeah, I think he'd had enough by the time he got to us. I think he was half asleep, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That would have made the night go a little quicker, at least, I think.
Or a little wrong.
There's another picture of me actually asleep on in the tent. I don't know whether you've seen it, and I believe it. I've got a bit of stick for this because there's a coffee cup at the side of me, and what I've done, I drank a coffee, flipped it over, and it looks like a pint of Guinness. So everybody's saying, no wonder you're asleep because you've been bladdered all night. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
brilliant.
But I can assure you it was a coffee cup.
Now, how does that feel to be essentially the new icon of football? There's such a feel-good story, and obviously your story's gone viral, as well as the ground staff at Wembley getting in touch, I've heard, to invite you down for the FA Cup final. So how's that been? How's that experience been? Again,
it's been unbelievable because I'm just doing my job at the end of the day. And listen, if you fell asleep at your job, you'd end up getting sacked, wouldn't you? So I'm actually quite fortunate that I'm still in a job. So, yeah, it's unbelievable from Carl up at Wembley. I mean, he's quite very active on social media and he does tend to interact with people, which is great. So he seen my message, said to me, well done. And then he messaged me afterwards on Twitter and just said, listen, how do you fancy coming work in the FA Cup final? I mean, a boy in England watching football all his life is absolutely unbelievable. It's one of those, if I can't get on the plane, I'm getting on the cutting the grass.
Absolutely.
Do anything.
So,
well, heck, and you can pick a brain of a head groundskeeper of fucking Wembley, for crying out loud.
Oh, it's probably the most iconic stadium in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be like, yeah, I worked on that pitch.
I did that. Yeah, that was me.
I handled that. I prepared it for the FA Cup final. You know, or did you slag them off at first and be like, hey, look, mate, don't worry about it. We're gonna get to the final. We're gonna get to the final on our own, and I'll see you there. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, again, part of my duties within Chorley FC is to do the kit. So I said to him on Twitter, me and seen the tweet, I said, well, listen, if we get to the final, I've either got to do the kit or do the pitch.
Yeah, there you go. That's brilliant.
All right, so obviously the attention's been fun. How has the attention for the club been? How is everybody excited for being kind of the national story right now with the big win, advancing in the cup? How's all that going around the club?
Yeah, again, it's been unbelievable. I mean, believe it or not, the FA Cup has actually probably saved the club. Probably looking back into March, we was bottom of the national conference in England. We had no money. We was raffling off shirts, selling balls just to get a couple of £100 to keep the club going. So, so all the limelight, it's one of those, you've got to milk it for what it is, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
It's like me now, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be forgotten in a week or so, but at the minute, it's enjoyable. I'm getting to meet you guys, people I've been on Talk Sport this morning speaking to Alan McCoist and Laura Woods.
That's amazing.
Troy Deeney. Yeah, so
wow. I'd just like to point out, we are officially now on the same level as Talk Sport.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what that
That's
means.
official. We're
That's
now officially.
exactly what Ben just confirmed for us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I've been on 5 Live as well tonight. For some random, just got a text message. Do you fancy coming on 5 Live tonight? So half time in the Stockport West Ham game, they went straight to me, and I'm like, wow, flipping heck. No one's ever heard of me a day ago. All because I fell asleep in a tent. So
Did you
anything can happen.
Did you take in the West Ham match today? Did you look at the pitch and go, I'd have done better? I don't. I mean, it's a big sloppy.
Look at this
it's a big
potato
sloppy
patch
mess.
at
I mean,
Stockport. My goodness.
I could do better.
Well, I'm good friends with Mike, the groundsman, so no, I haven't been calling him. We have an unwritten rule in the groundsman trade that you don't comment on other people's pitches because you actually don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So.
Then the guy at Newport County down in Wales, he's the luckiest man on earth because all I would do is comment on his pitch.
Now that's not fair. They have a rugby team they share the ground with,
and they've also had a monster truck rally.
2 rugby teams.
Yeah. Oh, they have 2 rugby teams. Even worse.
Yeah, they have 2. There's 3 teams on that pitch.
That's insane.
We had talked about them a little bit last year when they were in the FA Cup 4th round. And they had actually that calendar year had a monster truck rally on that pitch.
Oh, wow.
Like,
it was an absolute potato patch when we saw that game against City last year. Yeah.
What kind of whore is that owner? Like, sure, go ahead, do whatever the fuck you want. Oh, you want to do a paintball battle? Please go ahead. Set up big mud hills? Yeah, go right ahead. Whatever you want to do. Sure thing. Well, my grounds guy will clean it all up.
Yeah, it'll be fine. What you worried about? So obviously we'd like to have a few drinks on the show. It's in our name.
Yeah.
So do you drink, my friend?
Yeah, I'm just a lager drinker. Yeah, just a beer. Yeah,
I got you.
Nothing,
All right. No whiskey,
short.
no wine, no none of that.
No. Listen, I'm a bit of a soft ass with things like that. It did tend to make me just go heave a bit. So I'm like every time I have a vodka or anything. So,
I got you.
But listen. My wife's a bit more mental than me. She'll just drink anything.
That a girl. That a girl.
She's just in the room above me. She could probably hear me now.
I'm a fizzy lager guy too. I like nice, clean, fizzy out lager. He drinks all the fancy, smanchy stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm a beer man. Beer man all the way.
Excellent. So were you guys and the rest of the crew, was everybody able to partake in the celebration in the locker room afterwards and sing some Adele?
I'll be honest, right? It's the first one I haven't been in because, again, like I said to you, Friday I started work at 6 a.m. So I was missing meals, etc., not really eating, drinking enough because it was just hectic. I mean, I was still marking the pitch out as the Derby lads were doing their warm up. I mean, we still had one cover on with 15 minutes to go till kickoff.
Oh, wow.
So it was just chaos.
It was right down to the wire.
Yeah, well, we had Kevin Friend, the big Premier League refereeing.
Melissa doesn't care for Kevin Friend.
Oh, yes.
She calls him Kevin. She calls him Kevin, not your friend.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Mr. Friend, not my friend. I mean,
well, listen, I've heard some really bad things about him, but to be fair to us, he was unbelievable. But the problem was that the night before, somebody said he was going to come at 8:00 and just give the picture once over. Just started doing it, and he didn't turn up till like 10:15. It was kicking off like the Derby lads were turning up when the ref was there, and we still had the tent up, and it's like an hour and a half operation to get the tent down. And I'm like,
Kevin, no friend of ours.
We start getting this tent down. It's only coming out off at 11:30. We kick off at 12:15. Do you know what I mean? So it was just mental. I mean, I couldn't get near the pitch at all. I had to mark it out. We had to put the portable goals up. We still had frozen areas. I mean, there's pictures of 20 stewards in a line pouring boiling hot water onto the linesman run-ups. It was really touch and go.
Wow. That would explain why I was up early over here in the States. It's like 7:00 in the morning for the nooner, and I was watching the Everton match as I'm an Everton supporter, and I eventually switched off of that garbage because it was really bad and watched a lot of yours because I realized you guys started later and I was wondering why. And well, a big, huge fucking tent that you have to take off the pitch would probably explain why the game maybe started a touch behind, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So the big thing is, Adele obviously came out of her little Twitter slumber, gave a big heart to you guys, and I saw you responded back to her. So I'm assuming her people have reached out to you. You guys are going to do a little singing together. This is all worked out ahead of time, right?
Oh yeah. Adele's, she's always sending tweets to and from to Chorley FC. I mean, you go on her Twitter page. I think she's got 27 million followers. She's never ever liked a tweet ever on Twitter, and then she liked our tweet and sent to love her. So I think there's potential.
That's great. You know what it is? You take advantage of the opportunity while you have it to have people check you out and look at you. And everybody's always going to have, they're always going to have their, their Premier League side that they watch and things like that.
Yeah.
But like even us, like we have an affinity for Pompey. Yeah. We really like Portsmouth and, it's and now obviously, Chorley, and then we really like the Ibs as well up in Scotland. Right, and then of course, when COVID happened and everything shut down, we started following FK Slotsk in the Belarusian league. So so everybody always has their little secondary clubs and people, and it all it takes is that little spark from social media to help kind of get everyone to pay attention to it. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, look, Ben, thank you very, very, very much for joining us. We appreciate it, and we don't want to keep you much longer. It's late there, and
no problem
keep the misses up. Anything at all you want to plug for the club? Let people know how they can find you guys easily, things like that.
Well, I've just looked on social media and that, and I think that the Wolves section is going to do. Do you know what Marine did with the Tottenham about virtual tickets because you can't have a crowd?
In fact, we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah. So to be honest, it's not been set up yet. They're just talking to and from. I know our club, Chorley, are keen on doing something like that. Again, it's the biggest game we've ever been involved in, and we're going to miss out on mass revenue because obviously the crowd and the money that we received from the gates, from the food stalls, etc. We're going to heavily miss out on that. So I do know the CEO is going to actually make kind of. I know it's a bit of a copycat kind of situation with the Marine, but we've got to try and cash in. Yeah, exactly. We've got to try and cash in somehow. So even if it's half as big as what Marine did, it'd be a success. So yeah. So I think people can just log in at chorleyfc.com and just see when that's out, and maybe if they can donate, that'd be absolutely superb. It is a raffle, so there are prizes to be won. So,
excellent.
I mean, I think we've got like signed FA. See, what we've been doing is we've been having custom-made FA Cup shirts. So we've always been black and white stripes, yeah. So this year, Macron said to us, we don't have any kits with black and white stripes, so we're actually in white. Then we've got so far in the FA Cup, and they've suddenly found some black and white striped kits, and that. So the fans have gone absolutely mental. I think we've sold nearly 1,000 shirts. These are one-off, and we're doing exactly the same. So again, we'll have a one-off shirt for the next game.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
And you'll get our money. Yeah, that's for the minute I see it. I will definitely be buying a raffle ticket.
We're totally in.
Super.
And it pains me a lot to say it as an Arsenal supporter, but it was classed by Spurs what they did to help out Marine. Yeah, I mean, it was. Yes. Yeah, I hate giving them credit, but I guess they deserve it this time.
Well, believe it or not, I played for Marine for 3 years when I was a bit younger.
There you go.
Wow, very cool.
Wow, yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well,
did all of the people you saw on television, are they still the ones that live in those houses? Because I'm sure they watch every match for free. Did you recognize anybody?
Well, I recognize the chairman at Marine because he's the one who got rid of me.
Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very, very much, Ben. We appreciate it.
Cheers, man. Thanks, you
guys. Thanks for having. Cheers. Bye.
That was fucking awesome, dude.
What a fucking story that is, man.
Oh, man.
What a story. Everything's under control. He got a fucking nap in, mate.
Yeah, he was all right.
What are you worried about?
Yeah,
he's fine.
It was good.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, he had had someone drunk come fix the furnaces, the heaters. Everything was good.
I don't know a lot about the Lancashire area, but this seems very Lancashire to me for some reason. Yeah, do we agree on that?
I just love that he confirmed that Kevin Friend, no friend to anyone.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Fucker's late for his job.
Well, that we also know that Talk Sport 1, DU Football Show 2. That's all we need to know. We're here. We are.
I mean,
we'd officially made it.
We have it on record.
Yep. Real quick, I got to give a huge shout out to the boys up in Ohio, some of the Cleveland and the Columbus Evertonians that I was Zooming my match with that morning, and Jake with the Cleveland Evertonians, and it was Norm with the Columbus Evertonians who actually turned me onto that story.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Sent me a quick video about it, and I was like, well, shit, I got to find this guy. And Mel's like, let's set him up for an interview. And next thing we know, we got Ben. It was fucking great. Oh,
it also helps. He's a very nice bloke too.
Oh,
that was fantastic. It was lovely time
dude.
talking to him.
All right.
Thanks again, Ben, for your time, mate.
So let's go ahead and check in on the other non-league side clubs. First off, I deleted it off of the notes here, Sam, but we had Millwall defeating the Wood, Bornham Wood 2-0.
Yeah, I heard the Wood were a little flaccid that day.
Yeah, we had Spurs. We had Spurs beating Marine FC 5-0, and West Ham taking a 90th minute goal. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 85th
or something. Yeah, it was very close to the
lone goal to barely get past Stockport County 1-0.
Yeah.
Since I did erase all the notes for it, I was just going to say for the Bornham Wood game against Millwall, they stuck around. Like they did what they were supposed to do. It wasn't a walk in the park for Millwall.
Right.
Millwall didn't get that second goal until about the 70th minute. So good on the Wood for getting this far. It would have been great to see them beat Millwall just because we don't like Millwall.
Yeah.
But why don't you go ahead and talk to us a little bit about the Spurs?
Obviously, Spurs dominated throughout this game. They had much more of the ball, but Marine gave it their best effort. There was I think they hit the crossbar first, actually, before the first Spurs goal. So they could have taken the lead in this game.
Hart put his arms down and let it fly.
Well, he thought it was well over, but the ash just fell out of it at the end, and bang, off the crossbar. Clipped the top of the bar, so it did go out for a goal kick. It didn't cannon back into the field of play.
Then he did his best Jordan Pickford to swing his arms at it, but he actually has long arms, so he was able to hit it over the post.
But it was a good game. This again is what you want the FA Cup for, right? So Tottenham's kids, a blend of kids and stars, got a chance to run out. But there was a couple of things because Marine are a non-league side that I wanted to point out. I've never seen at least another ground in England where literally people's back gardens back up to the pitch.
Yeah.
So that was lovely to see. Obviously, fans not being allowed into the stadiums due to the COVID restrictions in England. People were just sitting in their back gardens, their fucking property.
Yep.
So and looking through the fence.
Someone put a cut up of Jurgen there because, of course, Liverpool needs to make it about them.
Well, no,
when it's not about them.
Did you see the sign?
No, I didn't see the sign.
The sign said, "Hey, Jose." It's something to the effect of, I don't remember the exact wording, but it was like, "Hey, Jose, I'm single and ready to mingle. Do you have Jurgen's phone number?"
Veneers really is a turn on for some women.
Well, apparently it was for this one. The other thing that was lovely that I found out after the fact was did you notice the fencing, obviously, to stop the balls going into these people's gardens?
Right, yes.
It was more like a net than it was a fence. All of the people there also, champagne with strawberries in it.
Oh, yeah.
Or a Prosecco with strawberries in it or whatever.
Yeah. Had some good old time.
Had some cans. Yeah, lovely. Lovely old job. Just it's absolutely brilliant. And air horns as well. Trying to put off the Tottenham goalkeeper every time Joe Hart, every time he took a goal kick, they would honk the air horn. Fantastic.
That club would hate us if we lived there because we'd be out there at practice sessions fucking getting drunk on a 30-pack yelling.
Fuck yeah. But they had signs, right, along the fencing with numbers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, that's weird. What is that? Found out later, those are the people's fucking addresses. So if the ball goes over the fence, they know which house to knock on.
Like to run around the front and know what house to knock on.
Yeah. So it's number 28. Got it. And they run around to go get their ball back. Hey, mate, mind grabbing that ball out your garden real quick?
Throw that back over the fence for us, please. Thanks.
Absolutely brilliant.
That's crazy.
That's fantastic.
Bloody fucking brilliant.
Absolutely loved it. Did you see the girl that tweeted from her bedroom?
No, I did not.
I can see Gareth Bale from my bedroom window. Gareth Bale retweeted that with a waving emoji.
You betcha.
It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. This is what makes the FA Cup special.
This is why we love the fucking cup, because
Yeah.
it's stuff like this. It's fucking fantastic, man.
Also heard from another some of the pundits that the press area for this ground, because it is so small, is actually behind one of the goals.
No shit.
So you can hear like the balls hitting from missed shots occasionally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's not the greatest view of the field, right? So how are you meant to see what's happening down the other end?
Yeah, so the way the stadium's set up, right, is you have the side where the teams are, and that's where all the houses are backed up to with the gardens. So there's no seats there, right?
Right.
Then there's a set of stands behind one goal. And then on the other side, which you didn't see very much because that's where the cameras were shooting from, but it's basically a walkway with a cover. So that's where all the standing room is.
Right.
And just this like little walkway that everybody goes and stands in.
It's
It was
fantastic.
amazing.
Absolutely brilliant. It's the stuff of dreams. It really is. And for those players who have other jobs,
Yeah.
are out there plying their trade against Dele Alli, England international, played at major tournaments. Joe Hart, former England international, played at major tournaments. All of these kinds of things. It's the stuff of dreams. This is what
Gareth
makes it
fucking
lovely.
Bale came on in this match.
Absolutely.
You know?
Had a decent free kick, and that goalkeeper that saved that free kick is going to remember that moment for the rest of his life.
I stopped a shot
From Gareth fucking Bale. Yeah, absolutely.
Insane.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. You really wanted them to get some sort of a consolation goal.
Would have
Obviously,
loved to see him get a goal, but it just was never going to happen.
it wasn't going to happen. But it was lovely. It was I footballing wise. I don't know why Vinicius is so vicious. Why was he so angry?
He was.
All-
That first goal, he like kicked the fuck out of it. It was like right on the goal line. It was like you beat the goalie and then you like pounded it into the net.
I think part of the problem was he was frustrated with his initial touch.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that first touch, he was meant to shoot that first touch,
right.
and it kind of clipped his heel and got lucky it stayed with him, and good feet to get around the goalkeeper. But then he was trying to rip a hole in the back of the net. And then the second goal, same thing. He blasted it in from very close range. And then the third goal was lovely. The third goal was the best of the lot for me.
Oh, that was one of
That
the top
kinda-
5 goals of the day on
that
ESPN.
That was absolutely beautiful. That little...
I think it was number 2.
Yeah, it's very
the Huddersfield goal in the Huddersfield Argyle game was number 1.
It's very difficult to get that up and down in the space that he was in, and he was able to loop the defender and goalkeeper in the same motion. It was brilliant.
And you got some info about the whole charity event that they did, right?
Yeah. So basically, what they did was Spurs and Marine sold "quote unquote" virtual tickets to this match. What we said before, kind of tradition, is when the big club hosts, they normally donate the ticket sales to the lower league or non-league opposition. In this case, Marine hosted. Spurs would normally make a cash donation to the club.
Right.
What they did is they sold virtual tickets to the game, so essentially a pay-per-view.
Right. Even though it was a game on TV for free.
Correct.
So you're just donating at the end of the day.
They also have agreed to do a preseason friendly with this team in their build up to next season. And Marine has started a raffle, and Jose Mourinho bought one of the raffle tickets.
I know. This is great.
But basically, during that preseason match, you get to tap the coach on the shoulder at halftime and go, "Hey, I'm taking over."
Yeah, it's my show now. I'm
I'm
the
running
captain now.
Yeah, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Exactly.
So we're buying tickets to the Chorley game in the raffle. If they have something similar, are y'all prepared to fly? Of course, you're prepared to fly.
Goddamn
down.
right.
Fucking right we are.
Come on, absolutely.
How is that going to work if it's still a COVID protocol and we're not allowed?
I'll
over
fucking
there?
figure it out, and I'm headbutting Nuno. Can't wait.
Yeah, that's definitely fucking happening.
Yeah,
Especially because Nuno's such
Come
a
here,
nice guy.
I know
You
you-
gotta headbutt him. Right?
and he looks like a philosopher. A wise old geezer. There.
Oh, so the funny part was they ended up selling 30,000 virtual tickets.
And they were £10 a pop. So that's $300,000 for the club.
Yep, which I mean that takes care of bills for an entire season for that club.
Yeah, at least.
You know,
that's awesome
So
for them.
it's incredible. And what's great is that shatters their record of attendance. Their highest attended game ever was 6,000 people. in a stadium that sits under 4,000. So,
Yeah. It was great.
Oh.
It was absolutely great.
West Ham apparently need to start all their starters. Why bother having a backup striker when you can just have your starting striker, play all the fucking time, especially in a really rainy, muddy, non-league side pitch? That's a great place to put your only striker on the pitch because, he doesn't have an injury history or anything like that, right, Sam? Not like anything bad could possibly happen.
No, not at all. And as Ben said, we're not, there's an unwritten rule. They don't talk about each other's pitches, and he's friends with that guy. So We're not going to talk about the state of it. Also, not his fault, really. It was pissing down with rain.
Yeah, but Ben ain't doing it. I'm doing it. Your pitch was shit.
So Smokey got in touch on Facebook, and he basically said that anyone think that West Ham is scared against Stockport. And all I responded with was, this game is shit. Because it was. I watched all 90 minutes, and I wanted to claw my fucking eyeballs out.
It was really bad.
It was terrible. And then he responded to me, he said, mate, I'm impressed. Our only shot on target was the Dawson goal. So glad we kept those talented players who can't hit water from a boat over the guy who made his debut for Ajax with an assist and a goal ruled out for offside. But he was the shite one. Fucking West Ham way. One shot on target against non-league opposition, but Allaire was our problem.
Look, you needed to worry about the vaunted offense of Stockport County. That's why you have Mark Noble and Declan Rice in at holding mid. Yeah. Because you need to worry about that possible counterattack because it could all go horrifically wrong, right?
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. West Ham had so many opportunities to just put the ball in the box. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, right? They had chances to get the ball in the box. Mikel Antonio, since COVID, the ban on football ended in the summer, has been phenomenal for that team when he's fit.
Right.
It looked like he had never played before. Like, I don't know what happened to him, but he wasn't making the runs I've seen him make. He wasn't doing, certain things. The ball had to be played down the right-hand side because the left-hand side of the pitch had standing water on it, and the ball wouldn't even roll, which in the second half played big time into Stockport County's favor.
Mm-hmm.
They've dealt with that shit before.
Oh, yeah. They went down that side.
You saw that left winger 3 or 4 occasions start slowing up at an appropriate time where you saw, I can't remember his name, last name's Johnson, the kid that was playing left back, that Liam Cresswell came on for late, or Aaron Cresswell came on for late.
Yep.
But anyway, he was slowing up. He was stopping. That left winger was stopping or starting to slow up by a certain point,
right?
Knowing that part's going to be waterlogged there.
Yeah, let me
that
come
part's
back
going to
in.
do that. West Ham players didn't do that shit. And they lost the ball 4 or 5 times, overrunning it because it slowed down. It stopped.
Absolutely. Apparently there was a great, grand, beautiful fireworks celebration in Stockport this evening for the match.
It was lovely. It was absolutely beautiful.
It really was.
Problem was, it was in the 16th minute.
Game's still going on, mate.
Game just started.
Lit that a little quick, huh?
Yeah.
Like legitimately, Mel, the game had to stop because it was like, I mean, they just stopped, turned and looked and just went, okay, guess we're going to watch fireworks. They're quite lovely.
Did they get beverages and popcorn?
Do you remember at the Democratic National Convention when Hillary Clinton got the nomination last time out in 2016? Do you remember Bill Clinton's face when the balloons were falling?
Oh, yes.
Look at this.
It's coincidentally the same face my niece makes, and she's 2.
It's also the same face all those players made when the goddamn fireworks were going on.
And of course, a match of this caliber and this much of a shit show has to be reffed by only one man. Dino.
Come on.
Good old Mike Dean.
Come on.
Mike Dean making it all about himself. Notices that the home side is dressed in all royal blue and that the visiting side is dressed in completely jet black. And what is Mike Dean wearing?
Purple.
Dark purple. Because he could blend right in and nobody will see him. Not like a referee's supposed to stand out and like wear maybe, I don't know, a yellow shirt that's completely contrasting from what they're wearing. So you know where the ref is. He's like, no, I'm going incognito ninja style.
The other that I love,
fucking Dino, man.
I think it was maybe Pablo Fornals getting into the box. No, it was Sufal. The Czechoslovakian guy. Czech Republic, excuse me. Czechoslovakia doesn't exist anymore. They're two separate countries now. The Czech Republic player, Sufal, was coming down the right-hand side, got into the Stockport box, and defender actually did very well to put it out for a corner, and it was the correct no call. But Mike Dean stood there, waited for people to start protesting before he blew the whistle and pointed to the corner. Just like, come on, let's go. This is the moment. This is the moment.
Dino gonna do what Dino gonna do. 5 Premier League clubs have bowed out of the cup, but 2 lost to lower league clubs. Crawley Town 3, Leeds 0. Blackpool 2, West Brom 2. Blackpool wins 3-2 on penalties.
What is with all these brilliant penalty situations? 3-2. Was this goal? What was this? I didn't see this game. Were these goalkeepers as good as the ones we're going to talk about shortly?
No, they made some. Yeah, there was
there was a couple saves there.
There were saves.
Jesus
yeah. In fact, that match didn't have any misses. It was all saves. Burnley Don's game was 1 and 2 saves respectively, not misses.
Right.
It was big. Keepers making saves. The other very important thing to note in all of these matches where penalties happened, not Premier League or championship club sides, no VAR. They were definitely there was a few where it was like, if they're doing
yeah, that's coming back.
Yeah, but you know what? Credit to the keeper if you know it's not being viewed. Fucking take advantage of it.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
Yep.
Crawley Town over Leeds is a wild result, especially with the type of football that Leeds plays.
Crawley handled it.
They were never like really in doubt, to be honest. They scored at the beginning, in the middle, and again at the end.
Yeah.
They were fantastic in that game and fully deserved their spot in the 4th round, in my opinion.
Well, it also helps that keeper, backup keeper. God, I don't even remember the racist's name. I got to look it up. Oh, damn it!
No, you don't need to.
I do. Kiko Casilla. That's it.
Kiko Casilla, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he the leader of the Proud Boys? Sorry. I digress.
Yeah. First goal, definitely his fault. Second goal, really bad when a guy kicks it right at your chest and you do the throw the legs forward. So it hits your knees, hits your thighs, hits your chest, hits your arms as it goes in the net on the near post. It really sucks when it hits one body part and goes in the back of the net.
Yeah.
As a former keeper, I haven't even had that shit happen.
Well, you'd
rather drop a ball in that. You'd rather Jordan Pickford that shit than have like hit every part of his body on the way into the net.
Well, the other piece of that is he had to make saves.
Yeah.
Still, it could have been more.
They handled
Crawley
it.
were awesome in this game.
I think that was the most amazing thing about watching that match is that they fucking handled it.
And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face.
How the fuck can't Premier League teams handle it?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. This is why I love this round
it's
of
fantastic.
the FA Cup. This is beautiful.
Because all you need is one good day.
Did you hear
one good day? They're a little off. Shit isn't going exactly the way it should. Just that one good day.
Yeah.
And they do. They had
Did you
they
hear
had a good day.
I think it was Crawley's manager that was being interviewed. Did you hear what he had to say?
No, I did not.
They said, congratulations, man. You're in the next round of the FA Cup, blah, blah, blah. What do you think of it? What are you hoping to gain from the next round? And he goes, I'd love to get a giant killing. What'd you just do? And he was like, and then he was like, oh shit. I mean, with all respect to Leeds, we'd like to take another scalp. And blah, blah, blah.
Bielsa definitely rubbed his ball sack on that physio table as he was naked in the dark.
For sure.
You know that was
Absolutely.
happening. I was just under the impression that, Bielsa likes to be nude in the dark in multiple physio tables. So this was a new one, an opportunity lost if he doesn't take advantage of it.
Correct.
So he probably just set up a shit lineup, didn't tell him what to do, and just went, okay, at least I get to rub my ball sack on a physio's table. It's going to be lovely.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. Gonna be brilliant. Big Sam. What is going on? Now, being fair to him, he hasn't had a lot of time on the training ground with these players because there's no time to fucking train because he took over during the festive season.
Yeah, you think about it. He's probably getting 1, maybe 2 days of training, maybe
Other
a day
than that, it's game recovery.
Film.
Game recovery. And they're not training as often as they need to be to really implement his system. Obviously, I was facetious a few shows ago after the draw with Liverpool. But I'm not liking what I'm seeing. And there's talks now, I've heard a few rumors, that he is considering walking himself by the end of January if the board don't support him.
Wow. Well, it's
because he's refusing to give up his record of not ever being relegated, except for that one time that he was. And if the board's not going to support him, why stick around? Why be captain of the sinking ship? Why have morals and all that kind of stuff?
Bilic, Slavan Bilic. He was clearly. You saw he wasn't pressed when they dumped him. He was just like, well, I mean, they don't want to do anything for me, so fuck them. Why do I want to stay here? And what's crazy is West Brom went down twice in this match. Blackpool bossed the match, and West Brom had to get it back to a fucking penalty shootout. Like, they had to claw their way back into this match, which is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. I don't know what to make of that team. Kieran Gibbs, it does give me a little bit of joy, knowing that we actually sold a player that wasn't up to snuff. For a change. Normally, we sell our best players.
Yeah.
We sold a player that actually couldn't cut the mustard. So that was enjoyable for me, especially.
Excellent. Sorry there. You got me right in the middle of the sip. 3 more Premier League sides, quote, escaped. I mean, honestly, they really did. But it took extra time and or penalties in each of them. Everton 2, Rotherham 1. Burnley 1, MK Dons 1, 4-3 on penalties to Burnley. Brighton 1, Newport County 1, 4-3 on penalties.
That went
Brighton.
to the second round of penalties.
And I said here on the notes, Houston will mention QPR and Fulham. You got the fucking start of the show in the intro. That's it. We've said enough. The only thing that was very cool about it that has to be mentioned that most people won't know.
The dance?
Is that dance is fabulous. Go look on our Twitter. I was
did you tweet it?
The Fits send it to us with a music dub.
Yeah. Jason sent it. DM me on Instagram.
Yeah, it was fucking fabulous. I loved it.
Yeah, Jason sent that over. That was lovely. The remix with the music dubbed over.
Fucking phenomenal. But it is worth mentioning that was a real deal West London derby. It's, when we talk about Fulham and Chelsea, Fulham and QPR, and Fulham and Brentford, those are so to have that in the FA Cup, fucking awesome. That was
great.
a lot of
absolutely.
fun. Very cool to see. The for Everton, sorry there, I'm all over the place. 4-4-4. Anywho, for Everton, good to see people like Digne back, but they're a lot of
rusty.
dust, a lot of rust.
Yeah,
they figured out a way to get through. The big talking point on this of this match really is on the other side of the field with Rotherham. Sam, tell us about who got the goal.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I know we talked about this earlier. There's nothing written there. Oh, it's way under. Mel, delete this part though, for real.
It says
Matthew Olasunde.
Yeah, and what is Matthew Olasunde?
So Matthew Olasunde is an American, young lad. has he? I don't think he's made a full national team appearance. I think he's only played for the U23.
Yeah, he's played for the U23.
So really, he hasn't committed to the U.S. yet in terms of his national team. But he did get a goal in this game, and good on him. Well done to him.
It was a lovely goal. He did a little spin around and kicked it into the far corner and knocked it off the post. And he got that opportunity because Michael Keane and Ben Godfrey had decided to not play defense and just let the ball kind of bounce around. And nobody decided to cover him when he just turned around and randomly kicked the ball in the back of the net.
Nice.
It was great. It was really great to watch.
Yeah, good for him, though. That's awesome.
In fact, at one point, while I was on the Zoom with Jake and Norman watching the game, I went, boys, fill me in on what's going on. I'm going to go check in on the Chorley match.
Yeah.
And I absolutely switched off of my game and went back over to the Chorley match.
Absolutely.
And hung out there for about 10 minutes and then came back for the last 10 of mine.
What's really cool seeing all these Americans pop up overseas now, and Smokey and I were talking about it on Facebook yesterday or the day before. I think it's going to be almost a silver lining to the COVID financial situation in football. Where normally, and we see this in baseball, which is why there are so many players from the Caribbean and Mexican descent in the league, is because, quote unquote, those players are cheaper. They cannot command the same contract as an American player does in a lot of cases.
Yep.
So the teams, quote unquote, save money. Yes, they get still giant contracts, but $3 million is a lot different than $10 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the same with British talent and European talent, right? With a lot of these clubs. And those players that are now unproven at the highest level are getting an opportunity to go over. We see the kid at Barcelona. We see the kid that is rumored to be joining Juve. The Tyler Adams already at Juve. I think.
McKinney.
Weston McKinney, I'm sorry. At
Adams
Juve
is
already.
at Red
Leipzig,
Bull.
Red Bull Leipzig still. I'm sorry. Sorry, RB Leipzig. Can't say Red Bull.
Oh, sorry.
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
But you're seeing a lot of these quote unquote, talented footballers that are going overseas now. And I think a lot of the reason is these clubs are financially strapped, and the MLS does not command the same transfer value for their players as, say, Marseille or Stuttgart or whoever in Europe. Take the Austrian side, Red Bull Salzburg. You're still going to look at 10, 15, 20 million, where the MLS is only going to charge you 5.
Right.
So are they unproven at the top level? Yeah. But a silver lining as Americans for this COVID financial struggle for clubs is they're going to start looking at untapped markets, if you will,
right,
to bring in players. And they're noticing now that they can trust, that the MLS is producing talented footballers, and they're not going to charge you 20, 30, 40 million. And not many Americans are Clint Dempsey and can command 60,000 a week.
Right.
So they're getting them on 15, 20, 30,000 a week, kind of entry level contracts, if you will. And they're only paying $5 million for the players. So I think we're going to this window now in January, and then in the summer, I think you're going to see a lot of American talent start being imported into Europe.
Well, going into...
Which is awesome, which it can only make us better. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's fantastic.
Going into this round of Champions League in Europa, it was a total of 30 players, United States players, on active rosters in both the Champions League and Europa tournament.
It's huge.
It's gigantic.
It's absolutely huge. And, yes, do I wish COVID went away? Absolutely. Do I wish we weren't in this situation? Yes. Would I give a portion of my salary back that I made last year as a result of COVID back to have it go away? 100%. But it doesn't work like that. So you got to find your silver linings where you can. And this, I think, is one of them.
And the great thing is it's only going to make the U.S. men's national team stronger,
absolutely,
and better, and yet they still start that cunt Brad Cruzan and fucking goal.
Like this kid, we need to lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
The next time there's a international break, he should be called up to the roster. Get him cap tied.
Yep, get him in.
Get him in.
So Burnley has to score in the 94th minute, literally on the last play of the game, to then go down in the penalty shootout because fucking MK Don's goalie saves the first penalty, right? Yeah. To finally then come back and win. I mean, it was bad. And for them, a lot of their normal starters out there. Yeah,
it's a strange old one, to be honest. But luckily, they came through it for them. There's, I'm sure it was an ugly match. I didn't watch it. I'm sure it was a terrible match involving Burnley. Mm-hmm. But MK Don's most notable for starting Dele Alli's career.
Absolutely. Now, with both of these, as we talked about with both of the two clubs, the games that we just talked about and the one coming up, is you had starters playing 60, 90, 120 minutes.
Yeah.
So for those Premier League sides with Everton, Burnley, and Brighton, that's not fucking what you wanted, man.
No, and you got all these games coming up midweek for them, right? Yeah. Which we'll cover, obviously, on Injury Time, the preview show, which you can get by visiting www.patreon.com/DU Football Show, is, Jurgen's complaining about the schedule.
I was almost going to give him credit for being professional, Melissa.
Yeah.
But he stumbled all over the end there. I mean, he laid down the plug brilliantly, but he didn't segue out very well.
I'm impressed how many opportunities he had before now and just waited till now to do it.
Well, you pissed him off a lot by muting him and unmuting you and doing this, that, the other. I had to let him calm down first before I hoard us out.
Oh, see, I was supposed to edit all that out. I guess I have to leave it in now since you called back to it.
That's fine.
I was never going to edit it out.
All right.
Brilliant.
So let's get to
same level as Talk Sport.
March scores in the 90th minute. In the 90th minute, March scores.
Lovely goal, by the way.
Yeah, gorgeous goal. Which
fantastic.
Which is exactly what it was going to take because I want to say his name, Tom King, was the keeper.
I think so, yeah.
That man, we thought Darlow was great against Liverpool. No, everybody, you need to go watch this match and watch what Mr. King did and then against Brighton.
Brighton was...
Fuck me Christ, it was amazing.
Brighton was on top in this game, big time.
Completely. Yeah. It was all Brighton.
It wasn't for lack of trying. It wasn't like what we saw with Leeds or, who were comprehensively beaten like we talked about.
So they score in the 90th minute, and then in the 94th, Jason Steele hasn't had to do anything the entire fucking match. Mm-hmm. Ball comes across. He goes for a punch.
Missed the fucking ball.
Hits Webster in the fucking chest and goes right in the back of the net. Going to extra time.
Yeah. I was watching that game, sterilizing all the bottles and nipples for the baby. Mm-hmm. And she was asleep in the rocker just the other side of the island. Mm-hmm. She likes to sit and watch us cook and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we'll have her back there so she's not near any of the stove and all that kind of shit.
Right.
And so she ended up falling. So I woke her up because I cheered this goal when it went in.
Yes! You're like, come on! Come on, you exiles! Yeah. Fucking get the win!
So it was absolutely brilliant. It was fantastic. Fantastic. I loved it. And
so it then
the goalkeepers then all of a sudden turned on the fucking business.
Well, it was funny because the commentators were like, well, I mean, King's been on fire. He's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Nope. Stand up and be counted, Mr. Steele.
Save the first two.
4 in total, including the game winner. 4 in fucking not misses. This was
full on saves.
Mel, you watched it with us.
I love PKs. That guy was on fire.
Saves to the right. Saves to the right. She goes,
two.
Hey, don't shoot to the right.
Don't go to his right. He saved the one to his right twice. And then the next time they go to the left. Oh, wait. Can't go to the left either.
Barely he got that side covered, too.
It was like the scene from The Princess Bride. Why are you smiling? Because I know something you don't know. What's that? I'm just as good with my left as I am with my right.
Yeah. It was absolutely brilliant. It was fantastic. And saving the first two. But credit to Newport, their goalkeeper,
Tom King,
saved second and third.
Yeah.
So after 3 penalties, and then the next taker, the third taker for Newport.
He saved second, third, and he saved the fifth.
Yeah,
off Troussard to take it to extra. And at that point,
Trossard had a terrible game, by the way.
He's playing with house fucking money.
Yeah.
So King's starting to get a little lippy. Like, he's diving away.
Laughing at people and shit.
Trossard kicks it down the middle, and he just sticks out his foot and kicks it away and stands up and goes, ah! Starts clapping his hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Go ahead, son. Go right the fuck.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Just what we talked about with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Own it. Fucking own it. This is your moment, mate.
It's all you, man.
This is your moment. Fucking get after it. And they're doing it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant to see.
Hey, credit to Steele. He makes, makes his save, and there it is to the final. All Trossard has to do is put it in the back of the net. Steele picks up all his stuff, his towel, his water bottle. He wraps it all up and puts it under his arm. Like, this is it. We're done. Then King makes the save. So he goes up and does it again. Saves it again, picks all his shit up, wraps it up. Like, no, we're fucking done.
Score the fucking penalty, mate.
Well, Webster steps up, the man who gives up the own goal, rights his wrong, puts it in the back of the fucking net with a winner.
What you worried about?
Yeah. Again,
what you worried about? I was just trying to give people a story. What you worried about?
Bloody fucking brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic.
As a goalkeeper, I'm just telling you right now, fucking rager coming out of my pants. Absolutely. Rounding out the rest of the league, the rest of the third round.
Yeah.
So that happened. Sorry, if we don't mention your club, there were 32 fucking games. We covered a lot of them, and we gave you a fucking groundskeeper.
32 games. Yeah, 64 teams. Yeah.
We gave you a lot. So if we didn't mention your team,
fuck off.
We talked about the fun shit, okay? Doncaster 1, Blackburn 0, Plymouth Argyle 3, Huddersfield Town 2, Chetland Town 2, Mansfield Town 1, Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0, Liverpool 4 versus Villa School for the Children 1.
I see what he did there.
Yeah, definitely.
Real simple. Some of these I'm just going to make it quick and keep it rolling. League 2 side, Doncaster scored just before the half and hold on for the win against Blackburn, a team that has won an exact same amount of Premier League titles as one Liverpool FC. Argyle come back twice and in the first half, and then score in the 70th to end up beating Huddersfield. That was a wild fucking game.
Yeah.
That one, I was bouncing around back and forth on that one. That was a wild fucking game.
Now Plymouth rounds out our knowledge of South Coast clubs.
Yeah.
So we've got Portsmouth, we've got Brighton, we've got Southampton, and Plymouth Argyle is the only other club we know down that direction.
Yep.
And they're not even that direction. They're the others.
Well, the good news is once we get to our next preview show, we're definitely talking about them, and we're definitely talking about Doncaster, hence why I put them on here.
You go. Also, isn't Plymouth Gin a thing?
Yes, it is.
There you go. So maybe next FA Cup preview show in a week or so.
Drink a little
Plymouth Gin.
From the Blackfriars Distillers.
Could be. Maybe.
Yeah,
do you have
perhaps.
some of that already?
I
don't.
have
to go find a bottle?
I can get a bottle.
There we go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should work that out.
I think that sounds like a lovely idea.
You know what gin is great in?
What?
Like a holiday punch.
Oh.
You warm it up a bit. You can do like cinnamon, lemon, clove. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Gin is good in a punch. I did a Hendrix tasting in the middle of December with and made a holiday punch, and it was brilliant.
I have a pomegranate syrup that's still good.
Ooh.
So you're going to make me gin for the next show?
The next FA Cup preview show.
No, I mean the next show we're recording tonight.
No.
Oh.
No.
Peat Monster or bust.
All right, I'm going to go back to play my island.
So, Chetland Town, I'm glad she muted herself, or else I would have told her to. She's getting really chesty. You noticed that, right?
Uh-huh.
She's getting legs,
But
Sarah.
I don't mind it. You're the one with the fucking problem, tyrant. Sam Cortese. One of your little philosophical views that women shouldn't be able to have a voice. Is that it? No?
You get back to riding your Peloton, okay,
Glad
fucker?
you made it out of the capital. Glad you made it out of the capital, okay, mouth breather.
Again, you were watching the highlights on your iPad while you're on your
the women here too.
while riding your Peloton in your fucking basement.
I don't have a Peloton.
Okay, Proud Boy.
Yeah.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
What I
sure
do
thing,
like-
proud girl.
Did you see on Twitter the gays have taken Proud Boy back?
Oh,
That was their thing. You know that, right?
Right.
they took it back on Twitter. At Proud Boy USA, or Proud Boys USA, I'm sorry, is like a group of gay guys. I'm not sure their organization or whatever, but yeah, they took it back. Brilliant.
Well done. Well,
because that was them for a long time until these swats came around.
Unlike Randall in Clerks 2, who wants to take back the wrong things. You have to see that movie to know that reference. Shetland Town go down in the first 5 minutes, but equalize and eventually go on to get the winner in extra time.
It's Cheltenham. It's not like Worcester sauce.
Sorry, Cheltenham.
Where half of it's silent.
Got it. Sorry. But yep, they got the win, and so that's
I watched a bit of that game. That was actually a decent little game. There.
League 2 side getting through.
Yeah, that was awesome. Is this maybe the most lower league presence? I guess you'd say
I'll
we
have
have.
to take a look. I'm thinking there's at least 5. I think there's 2 League 1s, 2 League 2s. No, hold on. There's actually, I think it's.
There's Chorley, who's non-league.
Right. They're non-league. I think you have 3 League 1s and 2 League 2s. So I think you have 6 total clubs.
This is a very plentiful weekend for what we love about this competition.
Absolutely. Teams
We're not hanging our hat on 1 or 2 teams here. You know, we've got 6 opportunities for then. And as Ben said, in the 4th round, they've got Wolves, right? And then they have the potential to play either Arsenal or Southampton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending if they get through their 4th round ties.
Yep.
They have the chance in the 5th round.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm sorry. Arsenal will be playing Southampton or whoever. Shrewsbury. Their game was postponed. But yeah, so they have the chance to play Arsenal, or you would expect at least Southampton to get through. Mm-hmm. In the 5th round, should they beat Wolves. That's fucking amazing.
Yep.
I love this shit.
Good thing to see Arsenal finally get through.
The FA Cup is like Frank's Red Hot Sauce. You can put this shit on everything.
You really
put
can.
it straight in my fucking veins, mate. I love this shit.
So Arsenal make it through. Good for you. VAR is a bunch of cheats because Smith Rowe definitely came through with his spikes up. He wanted to take out the kneecap. He was sweeping the leg, Johnny, sweeping the fucking leg. You know it. I know it. And VAR was just looking out for Arsenal. So that's all there is really to say about that, right?
He screamed like Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile when he shot himself in the dick.
Right.
This is so ridiculous. Thank you, VAR. Thank you for the competition being played under 2 sets of rules, depending on what stadium you're in.
Well, the good news is if you're playing it in their stadium, there would have been VAR there too.
Exactly.
And VAR would have cheated for you as you broke his ankle.
No way was this
I said
a red
kneecap.
card.
I said kneecap. I remember now it was his ankle. It was ankle he was breaking.
In no way was that a red card. He barely touched the fucking guy. The other thing is
he took the screen and did the
opener.
make it bigger thing, like your guy for MSNBC, right? If you made it bigger, you would have seen the red in Smith Rowe's eyes and the drool coming from his mouth with his teeth gritted as he was trying to destroy that poor Newcastle player.
This is pitiful. I can't believe you're doing this right now. I can't
Bill
believe
Jack Yelga shit, man.
I cannot believe you're dying on this hill right now. This is absolutely terrible. No, it was basically both teams took a harder nap than Ben did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For the full 90 minutes.
it was not a good game.
And then finally, Emil Smith Rowe and Aubameyang completed the scoring and put everything to bed. Now, the one thing, I don't know if you saw the triple save from Bert Leno.
Mm-hmm.
But
I did see that one.
That very worthy.
Off of Andy Carroll.
Mm-hmm. Andy Carroll first saves. He dives, pokes the ball from Andy Carroll's follow-up, and then gets up and dives again for the on-rushing left back, who I forget.
I was going to say head first.
Yeah.
Head first dove into it.
Didn't give a shit. And good on him. Well done. And by far my man of the match.
So Villa have to play their entire U23 and U18 sides. I believe the oldest person on the pitch for them was 19 years old.
When we spoke, I read through their squad numbers with you and Mel on speakerphone. 57, 52, 48, 39, 47, 52, 56.
And most of them were in the 60s,
fuck?
high 60s. Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is going on here? There was a COVID outbreak, obviously, at Villa.
Yep.
And I believe
Jack
Mel
Grealish went around licking everybody's face.
has the inside scoop.
Yep.
Grealish likes to fuck.
Yeah.
Well-
It's because Villa fucks.
Villa fucks. Yeah,
Yes, Villa does
just
fuck.
gonna say,
And Dean
Villa-
Smith got it too, because, Dean Smith, he fucks.
He fuck. Oh, Dean Smith definitely fucks.
Oh, you know who definitely fucks on that coaching staff? John Terry. There was a great Instagram. Somebody put up a meme of Frank Lampart's wife is expecting a child, and someone said, "Congratulations, John Terry."
That's brilliant. I would like to bring to the table the inappropriate thing that was leaked with Grealish a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think Ross Barkley's off the hook. I think it was John Terry that took the photograph.
Definitely.
Can we possibly agree with that?
That's entirely possible. Yeah, I think that might be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
The old tripod himself.
Yep. Good old John Terry.
If only he was playing for the wood.
Yeah.
God damn it.
But you know what? You know what those kids fucking did? At halftime, what was the fucking score?
Nil fucking nil.
No. 1-1.
Oh, it was 1-1. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's because Lou Berry,
What does Lou Berry like to do?
he fucks.
Louis Berry.
He had no problem scoring.
Louis Berry definitely doesn't fuck. Did you see the smiles in which he gave his post-match
my
interview
God.
in a 4-1 defeat?
You know what he did after the
cheesing.
game? When they exchanged jerseys.
Yeah.
He exchanged with
Firmino?
Yeah,
Firmino?
Fabinho. And then the manager went over, or one of the people, and said, you might going to want to keep your debut jersey.
Yeah.
And he had to go back and ask for it back.
And it,
Excuse me,
Well,
Mr. Fabinho, can I have my jersey
I
back?
think it was Fabinho. Yeah.
it was Fabinho, the
Yeah.
center back, not the midfielder that's playing
Yeah, yeah,
center back,
yeah.
not Firmino, the forward.
There's a Firmino and a Fabinho.
Oh, it was Firmino. I'm sorry. It was Firmino.
It was the
Wait,
forward.
there's
yeah.
both.
It was
Yeah,
the green. It was the
they're both
green
Brazilian
lesbian
as well.
Fafa. Let's just call it Fafa.
So, but on Firmino's defense, he said, "I'll more than happily return your shirt as well."
Yeah.
And he said, "Nah, mate, keep it.
Yeah. He's like, no.
Nah, you have it.
You go ahead. You hold on to my jersey from this match. You're going to remember this, and you
You keep yours. Take
keep
yours.
yours.
Back.
You're going to want yours.
Yeah, you're gonna want yours, Mr. Lou Berry.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
good for
It's
him.
got jizz all over it.
Yeah.
We call that, Crystal Palace would call that glad all over.
He definitely covered himself in glory.
It's time to tell you what little we know. It's prediction time. I could go ahead and talk more about that last match, but you know what? You all gave me perfect outs. So I was like, you know what? Segment's done. We're running long. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. So we all had the week off, but to recap, I'm up. Graham sucks at betting. Pat's going to lose his kneecaps, and the chicken is just under 500 and doing better than my co-host.
And with what you wrote here, what the chicken told you ain't happening.
Okay, heard. All right, so Graham, you're down $769. What loser do you have lined up for this week?
It's not a loser, but it is a bit of a stretch.
AKA loser.
I've got Newcastle to beat Sheffield
Okay.
because Sheffield will not.
So Sheffield's going to get their first win of the fucking year. Yay.
Right. And I have your boys to beat Wolves. Since you've got all these players returning back from injury, I think you're going to be okay.
Okay.
In that parlay, and I couldn't turn this down once I clicked the buttons, is plus 861, which is
861.
huge. And I think totally feasible. Sheffield are shite. I know Newcastle are as well, but they have experienced professionals on their team that have been in this situation before with a coach who may have gotten a couple of pies in him by the time.
Thanks for giving me the kiss of fucking death, by the way.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Really nice of you.
Well, you were a dick earlier. So
What? Because I speak the truth of how you
you speak the truth of the reality.
and you own a Peloton.
I don't own a fucking Peloton.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Pat couldn't join us this week. A pounding headache after a glorious weekend. Well, it was a wild card weekend, and my head is killing me. So I'll throw down a 3-game parlay for $100. I'll take, I guess it's the weekend games he's taking. I'll take Everton over Aston Villa for a pick'em of 130. Arsenal over Newcastle -1 at -145, and a Liverpool win over Burnley at -115. That will pay off to $458. It's a guarantee. Yeah, right. All right, guys, I'm going to sleep this hangover. You guys have a great weekend or a great week. It's great. Well, what's great about that is that we were chatting with Pat while watching the old football team play on Saturday night. And I said, Pat, I need a bet for the midweek, and then we're going to have you come back on Thursday to bet the weekend. So Pat sends us a bet for the weekend.
Fantastic.
That's why Pat won't have kneecaps. That's how that's going to work.
It ain't going to be the bookie. It's going to be you.
Despite Pat, that was a fun segment. But you know what? We have a fucking chicken.
So Kitty was in great spirits as she hit her Crawley Town bet over Leeds in the FA Cup this weekend. Now, as for the season, Kitty currently sits at 7-9. So this week, I gave her Aston Villa, hosting Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Kitty went into the coop, pulled out her iPhone, and showed a picture of her, Adele, Prince William, all enjoying an afternoon tea together. She is still a little bit bitter, though, that apparently Adele did not like that picture.
Oh, okay.
She only likes certain ones, I suppose. A certain one. So Kitty clucked about how lovely it was seeing how William supports Villa and Adele supports Spur. She just couldn't bring herself to pick a winner, so why not pick a draw? Because it's America. We don't pick draws in America. I mean, yes, we do. I watched too much Ted Lasso over the weekend.
There is one problem that Sam brought up. Sam, what's that problem?
This game got suspended. Tottenham is playing Fulham on Wednesday.
Well, are we going to tell Kitty that?
Well, I think we should give her the win since neither team will win on Wednesday.
That is true. Do you suppose that she'll just pick Fulham? I mean, put Tottenham to beat Fulham?
What do you think? It's your chicken.
I think she's going to go ahead and take Tottenham to beat Fulham.
Yeah, I figure she likes Tottenham, although I haven't showed her a picture yet of Scott. Mm-hmm. So she might take a liking to Scott Parker.
The last time
we'll have to monitor that.
Last time I talked to Kitty, she was watching an episode of Dance Moms, so she might be picking Fulham. I'm not sure.
And you know what else there is? You need to pull down the music and get ready to do another sound cue because we didn't even talk about the most important bet of the week.
Yeah, well, I was prepared for it, and then you go chicken, so I had to go from one thing to the other, and I was like,
sometimes we miss things. So,
admin, not our strong suit.
I guess we weren't going to do
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
You can't get away from it 35.2% of the time. It works 100% of the time. I'm going to take a pair of goal scorers in a parlay. I'm going to take Bruno to score at Burnley, and I'm going to take Kane to score at Villa. Well, the game doesn't matter anymore. So I'm just going to take Bruno to score at fucking Burnley, and I think that was plus 120. Because I was going to take the parlay with Kane to score at Villa.
We're going to go ahead and check that off air and make sure that's legit. Actually, I think I still have that pulled up. Let's see.
While he's pulling it up, can I just go ahead and remind people to gamble legally and responsibly and without drinking 6 beers before you do your gambling?
Yeah,
it's probably a good idea.
Great idea.
Probably a great idea. Here we go. Goal scorer. Bang, bang, bang. Down the list. It, of course, lists all of them first, which is always fun. Here we go. Bruno Fernandes. To score at any time is plus 112. You tried to swindle me out of $8.
Yeah, because that's going to make a fucking difference.
FA Cup doesn't count towards fantasy, so there was none.
There was a trade, though.
There was a trade.
Between you and I.
Yes, a huge trade in which you gave me Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
I just can't deal with the participation points anymore. He can go score fucking tons of points for you now, and I can yell about it, but I couldn't hold on to him any longer.
And Danny Welbeck you gave me, and then I sent you back. Now I can't remember who I sent you back. Tammy Abraham.
And Eze.
Yeah. Yep. And I think Pierre is going to, after scoring in the FA Cup, got a little confidence back. I think I'm going to be okay. I think I'm going to start him this weekend.
Go right ahead.
This midweek.
Go right ahead and pull out the little tiny hairs on your head as it gives you 2 points every fucking week.
I'll be fine.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Sammy, parting words?
Yeah. I'm not going to fully address what happened last week, but in Sam's Don't Be a Fucking Cunt Corner is a simple test I would like to bring to all of you to see if you are in good moral standing or not. If you decide to attend a demonstration of any sort, of anything, doesn't matter what the fucking topic is, if you see a multitude of Nazis at that and you're on the same side as them, it is probably a good idea to not be on that side.
Yeah, probably.
So take a gander around, see the kind of T-shirts that are going on, see the kind of flags that are being waved, and see the tattoos and other things that are happening. And if you find yourself aligned with a bunch of Nazis, either you're a fucking Nazi or you're a bit misguided, and you have an opportunity to jump ship at the earliest convenience.
Absolutely. Well said.
That's it. Also, actually, that's not it. I am doing a charity weight loss thing.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah. So I will be doing on Friday a live weigh-in, and I'll put everything online to make sure everybody can sign up. I cannot pick between the two charities because I do love both of them. So what I'm asking for is $2 per pound. One to one charity, $1 to another charity for the total amount of weight that I lose in 45 days.
Who are the two charities?
So the Craig Willinger Fund, who we have, I've done stuff with them before, the CW Fund based out of Baltimore. It is basically Soccer Make-A-Wish for children, terminally ill children, get to go overseas and see their team playing in the flesh.
Remember the young lady who got to go meet Aaron Moy?
Yep.
Because she loved him because he had a bald head like her?
Yep.
That is exactly who helped out with that Make-A-Wish.
Absolutely. And the other girl is a young teenager that went to DC United to see Wayne Rooney because that was her favorite player. And then Wayne Rooney paid for her to go to see Manchester United.
Very cool.
So met her in the training ground and did all that, exchange of certs and all that kind of stuff. And then her and her father got to fly over to Manchester and see a match. Now, obviously, COVID times, that donation will just sit there for a bit, but it is a very, very good cause and very cool things that they do. The other charity is Kick It Out. Because I can't get away from all of the shit that's going on here. Kick It Out is an international campaign to basically give racism the red card to try to kick it out of football. So $2 per pound that I lose in the span of 45 days, starting on Friday. I'll do a live starting on Saturday. Friday, I will do a live weigh-in on Facebook. And Instagram, and I will make sure that everyone has the opportunity and information to be able to make their donations. All I ask that you do is post your receipt online at the end of the 45 days that you actually did it. So I'll post a sign-up sheet, and I will hold you to it, and you will hold me to it.
And if you don't achieve your weight goal, is it going to be...
It's there is no goal. It's per pound that I lose, you donate $1 to each charity.
Yeah, but if you fail, I want you to be hurt.
Okay.
Like I told you, I want to tattoo something on your ass. Like I want to either do DBAC,
reality.
DBAC.
Yeah, truth on my left cheek is on like as a tramp stamp, and then
side, yes.
And then reality on my right cheek.
I either want DBAC, #DBAC, or #DUFS. So I want one of those two things. What will you need to set a goal that you're going to hit. And if you don't hit it, I want your asshole tattooed. I want your grundle
10
tattooed.
pounds. Oh, no. I ain't doing grundle. Fuck no. 10 pounds.
Right on the ass cheek.
I'll do 10 pounds. 45 days, 10 pounds.
#DBAC.
Yeah, it's 4 weeks. I think 10 pounds is fair.
Especially on the Peloton.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Next up is Injury Time, where we go ahead and preview the 6 games for the midweek, and we talk about the beers we were drinking, and we check in on our boys, the Ibs, who didn't do too bad today. So, Sam, if you want to find our Injury Time, how do you do that?
As I told you earlier before Sam made fun of me, it is at www.patreon.com/DUFootballShow. And as long as you sign up to one of the top 2 tiers, the $5 or the $9 tier, because 10's too motherfucking much, you will get access to injury time as well as a few other perks.
I only make fun of you because you have that stupid fucking face. Until next week, everybody.
Thanks, bro.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the Malort. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Don't you know?